India have lost the third test in Southampton by 266 runs and chasing a target of 445 to win. The match team was dismissed for 178 runs in the first session of the fifth day. For England, Moeen Ali took 6 wickets to wreck the Indian batting lineup. This win levels the series at 1-1 after 3 matches.
A historic win at the Mecca of cricket earned India coveted 1-0 lead in this series. But it's all square now after a dramatic batting performance in the Southampton test. It's not just the loss but also the way it came, being spun out on a subcontinent-like pitch that will hurt India the most. Should they now go for an extra spinner in the next test match? And is it time to change Shikhar Dhawan for Gautam Gambhir? Lots of questions, just 2 matches remain. With camera person Kashif Siddiqui in Southampton, Shivani Gupta for Headlines Today.
And Shivani Gupta now joining us live from Southampton with Saurav Ganguly. Shivani, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Sanjana. It's all left to play for. 2 test matches remain. It's virtually a 2 test match series now for England and India, the Grudge series. I have former India captain Saurav Ganguly with me, who won't be very happy with India's performance in this test match. A near perfect test match for England, but quite a bad one for India, Dada. You would be quite disappointed with the way this entire test match has gone, and especially India being spun out on a pitch like this one.
Yeah, they were outplayed, to be honest, by England. Not winning a session all 5 days of a test match really speaks about the English domination in the test match. Yes, I'm a little worried the way they played Moeen Ali, because we Indians are born and brought up on spin. That's what we play all our lives. And to give him 8 wickets in a test match and to make him probably the bowler who turned the tide in England's favour was a bit disappointing. And they'll have to go back and think about the way they have played Moeen Ali. I've always said that they should have attacked him a lot more, and I've said that on air many times, that you cannot let him settle down. He's not a Muralidharan, he's not a Graham Swan who's got variations, but the positive thing about him is he's accurate. So you have to get him off his length. And the Indians should go back to the hotel, got 4 or 5 days off before the next test match, and find out a way to play him. Because I don't think he's someone who can take your sleep away.
Yes, but right now he's done just that, isn't it? Especially MS Dhoni will be wondering just what happened, what brought about this dramatic turnaround for England, because everything worked beautifully for them. But were the Indian batsmen a little too soft, a little complacent? Were they, or a little too defensive? Lots of things, it seems, went wrong for them.
Yeah, they were defensive to Moeen Ali, but a lot of us heard. I heard Bhuvaneshwar Kumar say at the end of day 2 that it's a very flat batting surface, and I didn't agree to it then. I said, listen, till the another side bowls on it, you cannot say whether the wicket is flat or it's not flat. And England got a lot more purchase, their quicks, got a lot more purchase out of that pitch. It had a fair bit of grass on day 1. It may not have been as green as Lord's, but it had a thick grass covering. And whenever you have grass, there will be movement. Look at the way Anderson bowled. Look at the way Chris Wokes bowled. Maybe Wokes didn't get wicket, but every time he looked threatening. So that's the way it's going to go in the series, and I think India will have to bowl a lot better. The quicks will have to bowl a lot better. There is a worry in that area. Ishant Sharma could be home after this test match with his injury. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has got a very, very bad ankle, and surprising that he's went through this test match with this ankle. So India will have that worry to solve when they go to Manchester.
You mentioned the case of Ishant Sharma and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Already injury worries for India. Third test match down. Some of the ghosts of 2011 coming back. That visual of Zaheer Khan breaking down on the first day. This is the problem, isn't it? The Pacers not being able to sustain themselves over a hard series.
Yes, but they do play a lot of cricket. The IPL takes a lot out of your body, day in, day out, travelling, practicing, this pressure. So it's not easy. So I'm not surprised there have been injuries. But India will have to find a way out of that. They've got 6 bowlers in this series, the 6 fast bowlers who they have selected, and hopefully the rest turn up. Because it's no point playing somebody who's not fit, especially a fast bowler. He will not be able to do a job for you. So that's an area of concern for India, and hopefully they can sort that out.
All right, Dada, very quickly, if you can pinpoint that one thing that India needs to improve before we get to Manchester, because there are lots of worries for them. Injury worries, well, you can't always do anything about them, but otherwise on the field, one thing.
They'll have to show a bit more intensity on the field. I thought they were a bit soft in this test match, a bit defensive. They'll have to bat well. You know, if look at India's history overseas in the past, last 10, 11 years, every time they've got 400, 450, they've been able to get into position of winning matches. But if you don't get those runs, it'll be difficult. You need players like Pujara, Kohli, Dhawan to get back into form. Ajinkya Rahane has been the only consistent batsman on this trip. The rest have to stand up. Dhoni has to play innings when it matters the most. So these situations need to be looked after by India, and more so, as I said, runs on the board. That's what create pressure on England.
Yes, it was the first victory overseas after 15 tests for Dhoni, but another loss for him, especially his 10th in England, Australia and South Africa. Dhoni's overseas record really not getting any better.
Right.
Point also to be noted here is that every time, or at a lot of times when India wins a test overseas, they turn around and lose the very next one. So is there a pattern here? Do we become a little loose with our tactics, soft with our batting, and perhaps complacent in our play overall as well, Sanjana?
And let's bring in our experts on this. Borio, let me come to you right now. You know, England maintaining the dominance as it had in the first 4 days. Moeen Ali continuing to bamboozle the Indian batsmen. So Shivani, as she had clearly raised a point before, do you think that there's sort of a complacence that has set in within, the team after their stunning victory?
I don't think it is complacency. I think they are unaccustomed to this unusual position of a lead overseas. This is such a rare occurrence in Indian cricket, Sanjana, that you have a lead overseas in overseas alien conditions, that they're unable to sort of grapple with that situation and take advantage of that. Think about it. We had the momentum coming into this test match at Southampton after winning at Lord's. Everybody was gunning for Alistair Cook. Now Alistair Cook is sort of the man of the moment, getting runs. All of the England batsmen are in form, all of the bowlers are in form, and India has multiple questions to answer. So every trick going into Old Trafford lies with England, while India sort of suddenly looked this team in the dumps, unable to prize out England wickets, batsmen not in form, Moeen Ali not looking, sort of the bowler that he is. He's a club bowler. I mean, Saurav was way too lenient on him. There are many like him in the Ranji Trophy. Nikhil Chopra will attest to that. To give Moeen Ali and Joe Root 7 wickets in the second innings, what Saurav said was a little too disappointing for me. It's abominable. 7 wickets to English spinners in Southampton is just unacceptable.
Right.
You've got to sit down, take stock, and then come out at Old Trafford.
Nikhil, let me come to you now, and using what Boria has said as a jumping off point about the bowlers, do you think they have let India down? Also considering that this pitch was conducive for spin bowling.
Well, right from the very first test match, and I've been saying that if you're looking to play that one lone spinner in the Indian bowling attack, it's important you play your best spinner in the squad that is in England, and that is clearly R. Ashwin, because if the way the wicket was turning in that first test match and even in the second test match and in the third test match as well, Ashwin would have been a far better choice. Ravindra Jadeja, sure, with the bat, fair enough, but you need to try and rethink your strategy in the 11 that you're playing. It's unfortunate that Ishant Sharma is injured, but you need to really rethink your strategy. And also, with the kind of shots that our batsmen played, I completely agree with Boria as well. You can't give 6 wickets to somebody like a Moeen Ali, no disrespect to him, but our guys are far better players the spin that we showed. Look at Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane, some of the other guys who just fell. Very soft dismissal. It's a little surprising. When you talk about complacency really setting in, it does make you ponder. That probably is the case.
Absolutely, Nikhil. Let me just go across to Shivani right now. Shivani, just as Nikhil and Boria was saying, let's just look at the individual player evaluation right now. We may have made a big mistake by keeping Ashwin out, and also Sharma. Do you think that this is a gamble that's too big a gamble that has not really paid off, considering he's not able to justify his talent overseas?
Well, these are very important questions, Sanjana, because India will have to forcibly and also otherwise look at their playing 11. Let me put that to Saurav Ganguly. Saurav, there will have to be a couple of changes in this lineup. If Ishant Sharma is out, do you think that makes a natural position for Ashwin to come in? Because this question will be raised. Already some are saying he's our premier spinner. Why is he not playing if one spinner is playing? And at Manchester and at Oval as well, pitch is known to turn towards the end. That's what Nasir Hussain as well said to us. Ashwin needs to come in, and Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. What about them?
See, pitches turn, but they turn on day 5. You have to look at the first 4 days of the test match, and to be honest, India didn't lose this test on day 5. India lost this test on the first 2 days. So the balance of the attack is very important. I think there is a need to change at the top, because opening is very important in this condition. Shikhar Dhawan is struggling, and it's a do and die test for England, for India, for both the teams, to be honest, India and England. So it's important that India gets in an opening batsman. Maybe there's a case for Gambhir and an option for Mahendra Singh Dhoni to go back to the 5 bowler theory. That obviously creates a place for Ravichandran Ashwin batting at 7, 8. Jadeja can bat at 7, he can bat at 8, and then comes the 3 fast bowlers. Obviously without Ishant Sharma there is a problem. Pankaj Singh, I thought, bowled without any luck in this test match. Mohammad Shami is an area of concern, so maybe Varun Arun can come back and play in his position in the next test, and then Bhuvaneshwar Kumar would recover from his swollen ankle and be fit for the next test. So I think India should go back to their the way which they started, and for me the changes would be get in Gambhir in place of Dhawan, get Ravichandran Ashwin in place of Rohit Sharma. Not because Rohit Sharma hasn't got runs, it's one test, anybody can fail, but it's about getting the balance right, and India will have to get 20 wickets to win the test match. So Dhoni at 6, Jadeja at 7, Ashwin at 8, and then you 3 quicks. Ashwin can bat, Jadeja can bat, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has shown that he can bat and get runs in this test series. So there is an option for Mahendra Singh Dhoni to play that extra bowler, and for me that should be Ravichandran Ashwin.
All right, Saurav Ganguly making a case for Ashwin, and also Gautam Gambhir. Don't forget, experienced opener waiting in the dressing room. Saurav, thanks a lot for joining us with your expert comments. Sanjana, it's back to you for the meantime.